I like this.
Yeah.
I go on.
I've seen shitty DJs look so good because the light guy is just crushing it. And I've seen really good DJs, people are just not getting involved because the lights are so stale.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Jeff London, DJ Jason Smith.
Here come the bang.
When the sun goes down, the music turns up. A whole new world opens up behind the velvet rope. Join us as we take you behind the scenes of the nightlife world.
Are you ready?
DJ Jason Smith, Jeff London. I'm the promoter, he's the DJ podcast, live from Boston, Massachusetts.
Yes. What episode we at, Jeff?
12.
12. Nice to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as always.
Yeah, man.
How's your week?
Good. Week's cool, man. Just chilling, same old shit.
Probably the last week before you got started.
To be totally honest with you, I was like, I kind of have one gig this weekend, and I'm like, dude, maybe I should just take it off just so I could have one weekend for the madness starts. But I've had over 52 weekends. But the thing is, I never got to actually go outside.
Yeah.
This could be still restricted on stuff, but this could be like the last weekend where the only weekend this whole pandemic that I could actually go out and enjoy myself before the madness starts.
Yeah. Are you ready to get back into the madness?
Yeah, I've been dipping in here and out of like little lounges and shit.
But like a crowd.
I'm excited because I got a new head, man.
Yeah, I like it.
And I've been working on a few personal things, and I think what I've learned with that is from recently, I've learned that I don't allow things to bother me as much as they used to, and I'm noticing that it's reflecting in me working lately. So it's gonna feel nice to not have that like weight on my shoulders. I used to always be so concerned why that one kid out of 800 is not having fun.
Right, yeah.
And now I'm starting to realize it's not a personal thing.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything wrong. That kid could just be having a bad day.
Exactly.
And I would carry that with me all the time, and I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm seeing that I've been playing these lounges and stuff that it's reflecting in my style of playing music. I'm a little bit more playing differently, and it seems nice, and it seems free flowing instead of being so anxious about shit. You know what I mean?
Now, nervous at all or no?
I mean, I'm not nervous, but I always
it's exciting.
I have stage fright. I get the butterflies, and like Ozzy Osbourne said, the day that I don't have stage fright is the day I shouldn't be doing this shit no more. And thank God I still feel that way, because that means I'm still passionate about it.
And Ozzy's like 85
yeah
now.
And I'm still passionate. That means you still have passion,
Passion,
you know what I mean? And
key.
And when I have to go to a gig and it feels like work, that's not going to be a good show, you know what I mean? So, nervous, no. Excited, fuck yeah. I'm excited to see people.
Right.
We have a great, few gigs I have lined up, coming up with the first night back open at this place called Shrine in Connecticut. We got 50 Cent, and the following week I'll be with Rick Ross. So those are two big...
Love it. Give me one more.
Two big shows. Yeah, man.
You know what Rick Ross likes?
Rick Ross loves Earth Day.
Rick loves Earth Day. Oh, man.
Yeah, man.
We got a question of the week.
Cool, let's go.
All right. The question of the week. Who's the bigger person in the room? The DJ or the promoter? But in our style...
Yeah.
Let's switch it up. Okay. I want you to take the promoter role.
Okay, I'll try. I really don't know that role.
And I'll take the DJ side.
That's a little unfair. You've DJ'd before.
So I'm going
who's the biggest person in the room? Jeff is, because he's like 8 feet tall. So does that answer your question?
Yeah. And thanks for the question of the week. Yeah,
all right.
Nice. All right. That was just because Jason is getting in shape and looking handsome. So
Thank
nice job.
you very much.
Yeah.
And I'm a lot shorter than Jeff is. And Jeff lost a lot of weight either. I wasn't talking about weight. I was talking about your stature. You're a big
Thanks.
gentleman. When you walk into a room, you assert attention. You're like,
try.
wow, look at that guy. He's got a nice beard.
Yes.
For you guys that don't know, Jeff has a nice beard. I know everybody doesn't watch this on YouTube, but he takes it well, takes care of it well, grooms it.
Try.
Handsome guy. So who's the biggest person in the room, the DJ or the promoter?
So I'll take the side of the DJ.
I'll tell you who's bigger than the DJ and the promoter.
Who's that?
The fucking light guys.
Whoa. You just threw a kink in the armor, as
Yeah.
they say. A wrench.
And it's a fact. I've seen shitty DJs.
Wait, no, go on with this. I like this.
Yeah.
I go on.
I've seen shitty DJs
Yeah.
look so good because the light guy is just crushing it. And I've seen really good DJs just like not, people are just not getting involved because the lights are so stale.
Shout out to light guys. And light guys are the craziest people in the world.
They are in their role. I always tell the light guy, this is what I learned too. I was on tour with a band. And when we used to go on tour, sometimes we hit venues where
What was the name of the band?
Swayze.
Nice.
Not Patrick Swayze, but Swayze. And we would always, when we didn't have a light guy on tour with us, we'd always take care of the light guy, slip him like a 20 or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And I started doing that when I'd go on the road to DJ at these different clubs because their job creates as much energy as mine does.
Wow.
If you go to we're talking about big clubs. We're not talking about like lounges. Like lounges, like is totally different. Like we spoke with Ruckus last week, and we were talking about the difference between a club and a lounge. A lot of the lounges I DJ at, there's no lights in there.
Right,
Do you know
right.
what's in this lounge? One little strobe light.
Yeah.
No, disco ball. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
not a strobe light. No strobes. One little disco ball. That, I mean, the light is barely like it's the lowest light you can
dim,
have
so
on
dim,
it. Dim,
yeah,
so
yeah.
dim. In the rest of the room is just all fucking candles, bro.
Wow.
That right there,
That's a vibe.
so simple,
Yeah.
is a vibe.
Right.
And like most of the places, it's just easy, simple, creates such a sexy vibe.
Sounds like
It's not overdone.
Right.
And that room already has an atmosphere. And it's like having a layer of paint on a picture before you get to paint it. You know what I mean? So it's already there. Now, to go back after, to the question at hand.
So let me go first. I'll say the DJ is the most important because
I was going to go the total opposite. So go ahead. Explain.
the most important because you can have an absolutely sold out night, tables, minimums high, everything like that. The promoter did his job. But if the music is off, the night is off.
But if the promoter don't bring the people, the DJ ain't got nobody to DJ for it. That's why I was saying I was going to go in a totally different direction.
But
I was surprised by your answer.
But if the DJ's good enough, he's going to bring people.
Well, come on now. Let's just be honest here. I lost out on gigs when I was coming up in New York City because I couldn't bring people.
Right.
I'm a great DJ. I just can't. I'm not a great, hey, you want to come out and hear me DJ?
Right.
I didn't come. Here's the difference. My problem in New York was I wasn't outside. I came from upstate New York. I moved to the city when I was 25. All these kids that were beating me out in these gigs were kids from the neighborhood.
Because they could bring people.
Because they were local. I was in New York City by myself.
Yeah.
Who am I going to bring?
Right, yeah.
My manager, who's like, older than me, that could give a fuck, that's been doing this for so long.
Right,
he doesn't want to go hear me DJ. He's not going to come. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like different. That's why I think the promoter is just as important, or I think the promoter is the biggest person. Because without people, you ain't got no party. You could have there's a million fucking DJs, I could go DJ on this corner right now and start killing it. You think without a promoter bringing people to that corner, I'm not going to have anybody to DJ for.
Could be.
Unless, here's the different situation though. There's clubs that I've played at that don't have promoters.
Right.
It's just a place to go.
It's just on the strength of
So that's a different vibe. We're talking, basically big rooms or like New York City rooms. Like I know a lot of rooms in New York City will have 10 promoters on, and actually 10 promoter tables out of 13, and only 3 tables are paying, and they'll pay those 3 tables will spend so much money they'll carry over the rest of the promoter tables. So totally answer that question. There's so many different variables that go involved.
There's no right answer, except you did have the right answer. Well, you gave the light guy.
The light guy.
Shout out to
only
light
in the big rooms.
Only in the big rooms.
Shout out to light guys.
Shout out to light guys.
You guys are definitely like not giving enough thanks and appreciation, because you guys can create, like, again, they can make a shitty DJ look so big.
Yeah. And
make people go crazy.
Yeah.
Because the lights.
I've seen
everything,
some,
man.
That was one of my biggest, I won't name the club, but that was one of my biggest things.
And people don't understand that.
Yeah.
And to tell somebody that, like I think you're going to say.
Like the lights in the club were terrible, and it just made like
And the guy was like, well, who cares?
Yeah.
No. It
makes a difference. Yeah.
Dude, I had the opportunity to DJ at Omnia, bro.
That's a light show.
Talk about a fucking light show.
If you haven't seen it, Google Omnia.
It's like a spaceship's coming down. The first time I went there,
it's like a chandelier spaceship.
To see, who'd I go there with? Oh, shout out my guy Jesse Marco, man. He's a good dude. I was in Vegas and I was by myself, and I heard Jesse was DJing at Omnia, and I went with Jesse over there. And I've been over there a few other times. My man Nevin was over there too, NBM, and every time I've been there, it's Calvin Harris. It's always a Friday night. And the first time I seen this chandelier come down, dude, I mean, it's so big. It looks like it's like ceiling so high that it looks like it's just coming out of nowhere.
That's crazy.
And like to be able to DJ and have that as my backdrop was like, whew.
My whole thing too, and this goes along with lights too.
Yeah.
I hate low ceiling places.
I love low ceiling places.
You do?
It's like a basement party, bro.
Oh, no. No.
Well, because you're tall.
No. It has nothing to do with
Dude, I DJ'd at a fucking low ceiling basement party place. You're going to tell me Cure's not like a low ceiling basement place?
It is.
It is.
But I don't.
You were there every day, Jeff.
I do. I love Cure. I love Cure. R.I.P. Cure. It's now Hava over in Boston. But I love high ceiling places.
I can only imagine because you feel comfortable. I like low ceiling places.
No,
I DJ'd at this place in San Francisco.
I think it gives the room a total different vibe having a high ceiling.
No, basement parties is where it's at, man. I'm telling you, San Francisco, shout out to the guys out there. They had me, I forgot what it was because I just can't remember right now, and I don't give a fuck to look it up. But it was this basement. I was actually playing in the basement, and it was just such a vibe. Like, people were just were going crazy. Know what else was dope basement?
What?
I actually used to. Tony Touch is a good friend of mine, and shout out my friend DJ June, who was always the greatest to me. She was always wonderful. She introduced me to Tone, and I would do Toka Tuesdays every once in a while, and was at this amazing shitty bar in the Lower East Side.
That's awesome.
And I forgot the name of it again because I'm not really good at that stuff, and I'm not going to pretend that I am good at it. I forgot what it was called. And
I mean, I enjoy a basement party. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I love the look and how the
I
light.
Get you because you can only do so much with a low ceiling.
A light show on like a high ceiling, it just looks.
But I'm a lounge guy. I like lounge.
Yeah, you're a lounge guy.
So Max Glazer used to play in the basement of the Toka parties. So it'd be like the Tony Touch upstairs and friends, and then Max Glazer playing reggae downstairs in the basement.
Amazing.
It was such a vibe. Like the first time I went to this party, and I'm telling you, I'm a kid coming up in New York State, upstate New York. Like, to move to New York City and actually see like these legends that I would never have thought about
Right.
seeing in person,
Yeah.
but let alone actually know them and create a friendship with these people where they
Right.
text me out of the blue sometimes. Like the first time I went to Tony Touch's party, I met Static Selector. We got along right off the bat. We still talk to this day. I'm talking about
Static.
15 years ago. And then I remember the first time, rest in peace, man. It was Black Rob just leaning against the wall of this like.
That's awesome. And Tony and Toga Tuesdays are after the pandemic. They should be going on, I believe. Still,
Yeah, he's
right?
still doing it live on his Twitch. Like Tony is killing the Twitch game for like the older generation,
Right.
because he's really doing it. He'll even do like I've seen him do like Spanish nights where he's just playing like Puerto Rican music and like Latin music and stuff. And Sonny with the eye. With an eye is always with him, and it's just such a vibe, man. That party was just so dope, man. And it was a little basement in Lower East Side, man.
That's crazy.
Like-
It reminds me of the Sean Paul video, and he's
Oh my God, this room looked just like that, bro. One time,
something banging on the damn ceiling.
One time I remember the sound system was just not that great. It wasn't built for this. It wasn't, that's what kind of made it even cooler.
Yeah.
But to see these people, like, I met Just Blazed in there.
Yeah.
And we just became friends. And Just and I still talk to this day. I'm hoping to have him on the podcast coming soon. And we talked last week. And the first night that I DJ'd there, I'm nervous, first of all, right?
Of course.
All of a sudden I'm playing. And I've been there a lot before this night
Right.
that I'm playing. And I've seen everybody in there, like Black Rob and like Droby was in there a couple of times. The Tribe, Charlie. I think it was Charlie Black from Leaders of the New School. But like these are like legends. So all of a sudden I'm playing a set, and I spent weeks curating music for this set because I knew I had to like impress Tony and everybody. So not only did I play hip hop, but I know what Tony does after the guest DJs. Tony usually gets on and plays house music, but like real house music, like 90s house music.
Yeah.
So I had like Chicago house records lined up that I was throwing in. I was really trying to. I was going hard. So I'm playing. All of a sudden, Grandmaster Flash walks in the door. Dude. Talk about pressure, right? Grandmaster Flash. So then Just Blaze. So I'm playing, and somebody just picks me up from behind me. I'm already nervous.
Yeah.
So I feel somebody like grabbing me. It's Just Blaze, and he's like, "Yo, this is Grand Poobah."
Wow.
So it was like Grandmaster Flash, Just Blaze, and Grand Poobah on my first night DJing there
With Tony Touch.
with Tony Touch.
Wow.
It was insane, and June used to play over there all the time.
How was your set?
I wish I remembered, bro.
Yeah.
I think it was. I felt good, but again, that was a period in my life where I would take everything so personal. So if I missed one mix, my night was shitty.
Right.
That's how close I hold all this stuff. Another quick Grand Poobah story.
Give it.
I was DJing for Missy Elliott at her hip hop honors party at this club called PM. It became
Where's PM?
in the meatpacking district
in New York.
of
Okay. New York City.
It later became Griffin. Shout out my guy Chris over there. 2 Chris's. Those guys opened Griffin and really did it up nice, man, after PM was there. So I'm DJing. I think we talked about this when we had the guy from the Limelight on, how guys used to come up and like hand you like demos and stuff. So I'm trying to play, man, and like T.I.'s people are there. They're handing me the CD. T.I.'s over there. I need you to play this. Mind you, I'm playing vinyl. They're coming with CDs at this point.
Right.
And I'm like, it's hard to go from vinyl to CD.
Yeah.
So all the promoters in there try to get the records played, and all of a sudden Busta comes in. Now, Jeff knows, but a lot of you guys don't know.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes and I have had a little seesaw of a relationship over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Where one second I'm his best guy, and the next second he doesn't even know who I am. And it goes from week to week. Like one night I saw him at One Oak, and he was like, "Yo, Jay, come over here." The next week I went to say hello to him, and he was like, "Bro, I don't even know you." "Bro, last week you invited me over to your table." Like, bro, what's going on here? And he's been doing that to me for like since he was actually the first artist I ever actually had to open for. Shout out my man Scratchator, because he's like, I usually DJ before Busta performs, but I see you hungry, I'm gonna let you do it. And I saw him at Big Night Live before COVID hit, and I said thank you for that opportunity because it was amazing. So back to the Grand Poobah shit, because Busta has to do with this.
All right, love it. Give it.
Busta is infamous for walking around to this day with a USB that he knows. Yo, play this, put this in your computer. He wants to test everything out in the club to see how it bangs before he actually like puts it out.
Got it.
So we're going back again before CDJs. Or no, it was like a CD player. It wasn't a CDJ.
Yeah.
So you'd have to hand me a CD. But I'm in this rap chat with a bunch of like really big DJs, and we always talk about Busta like comes in with the USB. It's genius though. It's so smart, but it's smart, like he takes it over.
Right.
He's an intense dude. You know, he comes in hot, but he's a nice guy. You know, we cool from time to time. So he's like, yo, play this. This is off my new mixtape. And it's just him freestyling over all their beats and stuff.
Right.
And I was like, yo, I got you. I'm trying to figure out how to fucking play this CD when I'm playing records. So he's like, are you going to play it? And I said, yeah, I got you. He's like, yo, play it. And let's talk about like doing a mix CD together and shit. I'm like, all right, Bus, we could do that, man, for sure. Then like 2 years later, I see him in Australia. And he was like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, Bus, we supposed to do a mixtape together.
That's
As
awesome.
I'm talking to Tretch from Naughty by Nature in Australia. It was crazy. So then I'm playing. I'm still trying to figure out how to get the CD to play. Grand Poobah comes up to the DJ booth, and he says, yo, can you play that Busta shit? And I said, uh-huh. I figured out how to play that CD player real quick, yo. And that's my story of the week with Grand Poobah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
That's a great story. Well,
Yeah, that's kind of funny, right? Because it's
that's
like
amazing, yeah.
So as soon as I saw Grand Poobah, like Grand Poobah is on such a high pedestal to me. It was like, plus I had a little animosity towards Busta from what he did to me when I was like 18 years old. You know what I mean? So
what a great lead into story time.
yeah, let's go, Jeff. Story time, man.
Gather around, kids. It's story time with Uncle Jeff. The names have been left out to protect the guilty.
Now, here's a little story I got to tell.
All right, Jeff. That was a long-winded story out of a question. I'm sorry if I.
Wow, that's great.
It was kind of fun.
That was.
So, what's your story this week, my guy?
It's called Mistaken Identity.
I love how it's just that's all I get. I told Jeff previously, and I don't want to know the stories of the week because I want to be genuine in reacting. If he tells me what the story is, then I know. I love it. Just says story time, mistaken identity.
All right.
So I get to think in my head a little bit what I think the story might be about. So it's fun. Like I'm thinking that it might be about a guy that like had a fake ID or like a dude that like wasn't a celebrity that you guys brought in that was a celebrity or something. So go ahead, man.
All
I'm
right.
excited.
So I have my notes that Jason doesn't get to see. So this,
No, he doesn't. That's right.
So this story, there's two people involved. We'll call them J is one guy, E is the other guy. No names. But I will tell you. So get a call from my guy G Spin. So G's over at Power 105 at this point.
What's Power 105?
NYC.
Oh,
The radio
out
station.
of New York?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something local.
No, Power 105 New York. He's a station director.
Oh, okay.
Calls me up, says this guy named Jay.
That's a big phone call.
He's from G used to actually be up here on Jammer 94.5.
Jeff must have a really good Rolodex. Get at DM him.
Calls me, and G-Spin says this guy Jay is coming up. He just got signed to Rock Nation, or Jay-Z. He got signed to Jay-Z. This guy is
Rock Nation, yeah.
Going to be a huge.
Oh, this might be before Rock Nation. You're saying?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it might be. He might be the first artist signed to Rock
Okay.
Nation. All right. So I'm kind of giving it out there. If you do your research, you'll find out who this guy is.
Now, was this guy established prior to being signed to Jay? Or
Nope.
Jay's breaking this artist?
Jay's breaking this
Okay.
artist. This guy has one song out. At the time, I don't think he had the video or anything, so I didn't know what this guy looked like. The guy comes to the club with his friend. So it's the artist and his friend. So the artist's name is J, the friend's name is E. I didn't know which one was J and which one was E.
So the whole time you're talking,
I had no idea which one the artist. Yeah,
because is this like you didn't have
Google?
Yeah,
and this guy was brand like he wasn't on like YouTube.
Even if you did Google him, nothing would probably come up, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So the whole night,
You're talking to the wrong dude.
I'm talking to the wrong person.
And that guy wasn't polite enough to tell you, yo, this is...
No, I mean, I incorporate everything, and I always do talk to the...
Because you didn't know who you were talking to, you just talked in like generalizations.
Yeah.
Broad generalization.
I mean, when we do shots, we all do shots, you know? When we took a picture, I stepped next to the wrong
other
person. Yeah. I was like, oh, let me get next to the artist.
Yeah.
The whole night, like doing this, but I always do incorporate the person that's
Of course.
with the artist because,
yes.
like,
That's what you have to do.
those people get left out, and that's like sometimes the most important guy or the guy that always answers the phone or whatever.
And you know, you would do it anyways if it wasn't
So
somebody
the
that
whole
was
night, I thought J was E and E was J. I mean, pictures, I moved myself to stand next to J, but I was really standing next to E. I did everything wrong. This guy blows up to be one of the biggest rap stars ever. I mean, it must have been like, I'm telling you, you know what it was? Jay-Z's album. Was it the Blueprint 3, the one with the red stripes? I think it was Blueprint 3. I'll look it up.
Oh, that's the one that had that Pharrell record on it too, right?
Yeah, but
Coming Home.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Let me look this up. And so comes out, and they show all the artists.
So on this album, when this album dropped, you saw who the artists were.
And Jay-Z's new guy, Jay, has a song with him on it. I mean, there's pictures of the guy everywhere. And I look, and I was like,
damn, I was talking to the wrong dude all night.
All night, I had the mistaken identity.
Oh, my God.
And that's story time with Jeff.
Hey, man. It happens to the best of us, though.
Kids, it's story time with Uncle Jeff. The name.
That's amazing.
Let me see if it was Blueprint 3 that this artist.
That's like kind of like where the period Jay kind of got a little different too, though. Like,
it was
it's like too commercial Jay for me.
Yeah, it was
commercial Jay.
Commercial Jay. It was he had a song with Jay on it. So yeah, if you guys want to do research, you could find out who the artist is.
Yeah, dude. That's great.
Little PNN.
Little PNN. It's that PNN time. If you don't know, now you know. We do things a little different around here. Instead of hearing that negative shit we hear every day on the news. And there's some negative shit right now, man. The country, the world is a mess. We do Positive News Network. We call it PNN, and it's brought to you by this wonderful man, Jeff London. Jeff London, what's PNNs this week? PNNs?
PNNs?
What's the positive news this week, my friend?
So, 2020 was a tough year for everybody.
Sure fucking was, man.
But according to a new survey, 74% of Americans say 2020 has made them more aware of the needs of others and more selfless than ever before.
Yeah.
They reveal that since March 2020, people are more embracing the identity of neighborly love.
I don't think they live in this city. Maybe other cities.
Yeah. They do live in the city. 41% helped a stranger across the street. 38% have gone out of the way to take out the neighbor's trash. 31% have walked their neighbor's dog.
I do that shit every day.
I've never heard anybody walking their neighbor's dog.
No, that's a little weird.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Yeah, maybe.
Why is that even? That's weird. Yeah.
The positive news
is that people are trying to help each other out.
Yeah, and they care about the health and well-being.
Being empathetic,
Ooh.
yes.
And the health and well-being of others. And more significantly, it happened in the past year, which was probably the worst year.
And I think, I know I'm kind of glad this shit happened because I learned a lot about myself.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of self-reflection, and there's a lot of things that I didn't like about myself. But I've always been empathetic. I always want to give that extra helping hand. And, I think some of that goes with some mental awareness also,
Absolutely.
which this month is Mental Awareness Month.
Yes.
If you're not familiar with that. Rick Ross loves Mental Awareness Month also. So shout out to everybody that's dealing with shit. You're not alone. You know what I mean? We all going through it together, and we did. And hopefully there's some light at the end of the tunnel for y'all, man. Mental health is very important.
Very true.
Very important to me. It's very important to people that are around me. I suffer from some mental stuff, and I'm sure the majority of people do.
A lot of people do.
And I think it's something that's totally, I've said this for years, it's something that's totally under like, it's not paid enough attention to, that's for sure. It's under researched, it's under, it's not brought to the forefront as much as it should be.
Absolutely.
So there should definitely be more awareness to it, for
I
sure.
agree on that 100%.
And that's the positive news
That is
this
the
week.
positive news. I like that. All right.
Yeah, that was awesome, Jeff.
Yes. Let's
Another one in the books, or where you want to go? Go ahead.
we gotta do this now. I'm over at Big Night Live.
Yeah.
I mean Big Night Live, Grand
Shout
Empire,
out to Jeff and his new gig.
Memoir, everything like that.
Part of the Big Night
We gotta-
Entertainment Group family, man.
Yes, we gotta plug some things. So
Go ahead. I don't have this.
Shrine. We got Shrine coming up. Starting.
Shrine is in Foxwoods in some town in Connecticut that I can't pronounce.
I cannot pronounce it too.
But Foxwoods, Connecticut is where Shrine is located. It's the first venue that we have that's going to be opening
after the pandemic.
after the pandemic, yeah.
So yeah,
What we got, bro? Go ahead.
We got you.
Me Friday
With 50 Cent?
With 50 Cent, yeah, next Friday.
Let's see who's on Saturday.
The 21st. Saturday is
Loud Luxury.
with Buddy Costa.
And Tiesto on Sunday, I believe, with either Jesse Jess or Buddy.
I think it's, I don't know who it is.
And then the following week, Friday, we got Rick Ross with Jason Smith.
Yeah.
Saturday, Diplo.
Diplo.
And Sunday, Zed.
Yeah,
Sick
man.
lineup.
Sick lineup. It's our first opening parties since the pandemic, man. I'm excited to see you guys, and I can't wait to rock.
And I think
get
people
everything
should.
done. And we have a strong team. We have Jeff on our team now. It's amazing. So, yeah, man.
So where can they find you, Jason?
You can find me on my Instagram at Jason Smith Music
And you can find me at Jeff London
_. And you can find us at
I'm the promoter. He's the DJ on all platforms.
all platforms.
And make
Get
sure
it.
you go to bignightshop.com.
Buy some merch, man.
Get
I
our
got
merch
feed
up.
my dog and shit.
Let's
All right,
go out.
man, let's peace.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Jeff London, DJ Jason Smith.
Here come the bang.
When the sun goes down.